going on, everyone? We're back with another episode of the JDA show, episode 34, coming at you on a Thursday night, January 28th. Jesse, Andy, what's going on?
What up? What's up?
Finally in a nice, clean studio. Andy put in a lot of work down here after the little incident that Jesse caused last weekend with.
Still finding some broken glass on the ground.
Was there actually some down here?
Yeah, when I was cleaning earlier, there was.
And then Jesse ran off, and everybody else cleaned it up.
I told him to leave. Everybody was shitting all over you after you left.
Oh, I'm sure Ashley probably
was. Yeah. I was like...
Yep.
Yeah,
it's going to make a mess and not clean it up?
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
I was like, it's fine. I was like, I told him that we'd take care of it. But yeah, absolute nightmare scenario down here. Jesse,
it was the moldy water that you can say it.
So Jesse knocked over, what was it, a vase?
It was that metal thing that was up there. It was like hanging a little off the ledge. And I said something smart to RJ, Peter, and Sarah down here, and then turn around, knock that metal thing, and I see the metal thing come down, and then one vase at a time, and the first one didn't even shatter. It landed on the stairs, and then the second one came down, and both of them shattered.
It went straight into the bureau at the bottom.
It's almost like the vase bounced.
It did.
How did it not shatter from immediate impact, and then it just... Then Andy spills the moldy, disgusting water.
So I grabbed the shop vac to clean this up, and apparently some bit of water was cleaned up with that a while ago. And as I fired it up, it's blowing out this stink fucking air. And RJ and Sarah down here, and they're like, what is that? And I unplugged it. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, so I just immediately, not even thinking, I grabbed the shop vac to take it, and I didn't unplug it from the wall. So it fucking gets stuck on the outlet, and then it spilled over, and there was just this disgusting, gross water that spilled on the carpet. Thankfully, I had carpet cleaner and deodorizer.
I was coming down here expecting that. And now.
So everybody knows the reason I left was because the liquor store was closing in minutes, and Andy told me to leave.
Yeah, I really just think you were fuck them. They can clean up all that glass I just broke all over the basement.
It was fine. He was very apologetic, and, shit happens.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. So, we're going to start off talking about what went down last weekend, or I should say this past weekend. But we'll start off with, just like we did last episode, Tom Brady going back to the Super Bowl for the 10th time. You just cannot put this man away. No. 43 years old.
Love to see it.
And, I don't know. I just think, where do you think that this ranks among...
His runs?
Runs, wins.
Definitely the run itself. You face two Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and then all the games were on the road, right? All three of them.
I was just gonna say that
first one against Washington, which was a gritty Washington team, but I mean this ranks up there in terms of the runs as one of his best.
I think it might be his best because every year as a Patriots player, they were almost expected to come out of the AFC.
I think he may have. This might sound a little crazy, but I do think he might have one of the better teams he's actually gone with, because I'm willing to put this team ahead of some of the Pats teams that have made it there, especially the 2018 team.
I just don't know if so. I think that the Bucs team is good, but I think a lot of it has to do with Brady. I think there's some losers on that team, but he's elevated them, and I just think his winning nature is just
I think
vibing off of him.
The talent's there. What he did was kind of brought it out of them, if you will. But in terms of individual games, I don't really rank that win too high for me personally. I think the Packers were kind of overrated going into that game.
I think what I meant is more just the trip to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
So like you said, the run.
I thought someone also said that game or the run.
It still was a game where he throws 3 interceptions, and you're watching that game
really bad.
Giving Green Bay every opportunity to come back in the game.
Us Bucs bettors were sweating.
All the chances in the world to go down and take the lead or tie the game, and they fucking cannot do it. And from what do you throw 3 interceptions? Weren't they all in the second half?
Yeah,
I think they were consecutive possessions, were they?
At least 2 of them. Yeah,
weren't they all to Evans too, or at least
2 of them were to Evans at least? I
think all 3 of them were to Evans. Yeah, but one of them was just which actually wasn't the worst idea to throw it away there, because it was essentially, like you said, kind of like a punt on that one where he was getting blitzed. Then you risk the chance of maybe fumbling if you take the sack. You never know. So
I suppose so. He looked good, but he also didn't look good.
He looked phenomenal in the first half,
that's the difference between him and other quarterbacks. those interceptions for most guys will ruin their day. Like, they'll be in their head. He just moves on and realizes that it's like a golfer, next shot, next play. Yeah. I think that's what makes him so great.
Yeah.
But I think Green Bay really blew every opportunity they had to get back in that game.
We'd be having a different conversation right now if you didn't give up a fucking stupid Scotty Miller touchdown with 8 seconds left from the 45-yard line.
That's a perfect transition to the best and worst moments, because that's one of my. That's also one of my best, though, is Bruce Arians giving him the opportunity to go for it on 4th and 3, whatever it was, right there, and being like, "Hey, we can easily go pick these yards up and at least get in field goal range."
Yeah.
And that dude that got beat, I think his name was like King or something.
King.
He was getting torched all game.
He gave up the first touchdown too to Evans.
Yeah.
So I think he's like their nickelback corner too. So Brady was targeting him all night.
If it wasn't for him, dude, the Packers would probably be playing in the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, we got the Super Bowl that we were all hoping for. I mean, I called Packers Bills, and
I said Bucks Chiefs.
I would have liked to see it, but I mean, you can't go wrong with Bucks Chiefs. I mean, it's going to be a great game, and I'll get it right out of the way with immediately. I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm betting against Brady.
Relax. This is a conversation for next week when we can preview the Super Bowl.
Okay, well, I just want to give you a little taste.
Yeah, I think we knew that you're going to stick on that trend, and just you're not going to learn your lesson, but that's fine. One of my best moments is the second game, Mahomes, who's the dude that muffed the punt? Was it Hardman?
Mecole Hardman, yep.
Yeah. The way I don't know if you guys saw like the Inside the NFL when he went up to him, like that's a real leader that goes like a guy like Aaron Rodgers doesn't do something like that. And it's funny to me that Mahomes is already a better leader in a couple years than Rodgers has ever been. Like
never will be.
Yeah, I thought that was cool to see him go up to that guy and be like, "Yo, it's like
we need you. You'll make up for it."
And the thing is, that team has so much confidence playing from behind at any level because of what happened last year.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool to see.
So that's what helps Mahomes be such a good leader is that, like, I mean, their guys believe in him so much so in that, like, if they are playing poorly and they are, like, having a bad game, they're like, well, we got Patrick Mahomes, so anything could happen. We can still win any game. Like, they're never out of it. I mean, even... Yeah, like last year when we mentioned they were down 24-0 against Houston.
And
I can't believe they came back in that situation. It was like that was a second quarter lead, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Still, that's just embarrassing.
Wasn't it like Houston. A 40-something to 0 run?
It was like 48-7 after that Chiefs.
That is just insane. With that to score 48 points like from the midway point of the second quarter on.
When you're up 24-0, all you have to do is kind of weather the storm for a little bit and even just kick some field goals, put some points on the board.
Another one of my best moments. We already touched on the Scotty Miller touchdown, but a touchdown that I think really changed the momentum of that game was the Leonard Fournette run. I forget what the score was after he scored that touchdown run, but I felt like that was kind of a momentum swing. They had already been off to a good start, but that really changed the tide in my opinion.
Put them up 14-0, right? Or 14.
So that was the first half, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it was part of that. It was
definitely the second touchdown of the game. First one went to Evans, and then Fournette ran it in.
Yeah.
I think we have to talk about the end of that game. My worst moment, Aaron Rodgers and the coach, LaFleur. So some people I saw were trying to say that he shouldn't have ran for it, that it wasn't there. He still, if he runs that ball, it was 4th and goal from the 8, is getting at least 4 or 5 yards.
Oh, he definitely. No, he's saying it would have been.
Yeah, okay.
He definitely had 5 yards, and I think if he dives, he gets in.
And you're doing that, and if he gets 4 yards there, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
But that being said, that still I think is I did not expect the field goal unit to come on there.
No,
not at all. I'm thinking they're going for it. You have the best. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the MVP, so you have a all-time quarterback, but then you also have the GOAT on the other side. How do you give the ball back to him?
I know
with the chance of never getting the ball back.
That's the thing. And your defense hadn't had much luck
because the points don't even help you there. You might as well just go for it. Because if not, you keep him pinned to the other side of the field,
and you still need a touchdown.
Yeah.
Even after
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so there's really no advantage to kicking that field goal. Like literally none. But I didn't even really think of it that way when it happened because I was so shocked. But looking back on it now, it's just an all-time decision.
I kind of understood the decision because, I mean, they were damn close to stopping them and getting the ball back. I mean, they wouldn't have had much time.
I mean, the only thing is that then you're going for the win, not for the tie. after the field goal.
Yeah.
If you get that stop, but it just seems.
I just think with your season on the line, you can't risk giving the ball to Brady. Just all he has to do is pick up a couple of first downs.
Yeah,
and the
with
game's
the way those
over.
running backs were running that day too.
And what do you think about the pass interference call at the end of the game?
I mean,
I think it was clear as day.
So I do too. I think they were letting a lot of stuff like that go, and so I think he could have got away with tugging the shirt a little bit. He fucking stretched the dude's jersey like 6 yards.
It was a whole foot of stretch jersey. They're going to call that every time. Even if he didn't flop like that, they were going to call it.
So it's like there was a line. Like the refs are being so lenient, and there was this line, and that guy had to cross the line right there with the most blatant hold.
The dude probably wasn't even going to catch it. He would have had to sprawl out a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't a great throw. It looked a little overthrown.
And they
that
bring
was
up
King, right? Too.
They bring up it might have been King. They bring up how there is the missed call on Lazard that led to that interception by Rodgers. Yeah. But what I'll say about that one is that it was a lot more subtle. It's something that you could really only see on the replay.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't mind letting them play through little tugs like that.
No,
like that's part of the game in the playoffs.
Throw a flag on almost every single play.
Yeah,
so
it's just that's one thing you can't do is stretch the jersey out like that. Like if you're gonna rough them up a little bit, rough them up, do a little hand play, but you can't be tugging the jersey.
Yeah.
My last worst moment going to the Bills-Chiefs game is Josh Allen. I told you guys if they put pressure on him in the pocket, and this jackass is running 30 yards backwards multiple times. Yeah. And I'm not trying to get back on that side and this guy sucks. But I didn't think it was a good game for him. I thought it was a horrible game for the defense.
Bad game for the coach.
Exactly. Like you had no game plan whatsoever to at least somewhat try to restrict that Chiefs offense, which I understand is insanely hard to do.
Their defense stepped up though. That was the difference maker in my opinion.
Who Kansas City?
Kansas City defense.
Yeah, so that's pretty much you guys.
They are what we thought they were, the Chiefs, or at least what you guys thought they were.
Yeah, I knew that they just. I think that I'm not to talk about the Super Bowl too much, but it's going to be a good one. Did you see that the over/under is 56 points?
It could go either way.
And I think that's going to probably fluctuate in the next week or so.
For
but
sure.
I don't know if I would touch that.
I wouldn't touch it because
I could
see it getting hit, and I could see them going in the mid-low 40s.
Yeah,
it's a Super Bowl. No one's going to score at will like that.
Yeah.
So quickly, right now going on is a Senior Bowl for college, and there's no combine this year because of COVID.
Yeah,
and you would think Belichick, because I think we can all agree here, this is a pretty big off season, would be there evaluating the talent.
And he loves his seniors and his 4-year guys.
And that's actually he was there at the Senior Bowl when they evaluated Garoppolo and took him.
Yeah.
Where is he? He's at on the Caribbean right now somewhere.
I'm all right with it. He probably has the full rundown on all these guys.
No, he needs to be there. Hasn't been working the last 5 years. He should be there.
What do you mean? Isn't he usually there every year?
No. That's
what you said he was there?
I think he was there in 2014. I don't know how often he's there. I know he was. There's been times before where he's been on vacation.
Combine?
No, the Senior Bowl.
Where he's been on vacation. My point is there's no combine this year. This is your one chance to go.
Dude could be watching it while he's on vacation.
I don't think they have TV.
What do you mean? You don't think?
I don't think it's televised.
I bet coaches can get footage of it.
You think that what Brady's doing right now? He'd be motivated, dude, to go, and he's sitting with his fucking tits out, floating around on some beach somewhere. That's pathetic,
no,
dude.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I bet there's plenty of.
He's got a whole.
It's not the off season if there's recruiting going on.
He's got the whole. He's probably on vacation for a few days. It's not a big deal.
Here's the thing: the scouts go and they evaluate guys and they give Bill their picks, and then when the time comes for the draft, Bill's like, yeah, let's take this dude from fucking Rutgers, and he doesn't listen to them
because he loves Rutgers.
So he should go there for himself.
It's all right. I'm not putting too much stock into that. I think the guy deserves a vacation after this long season.
I don't. The main reason I'm bringing it up though is because last episode we talked about Linda Holiday.
Yeah.
The reason this was found out is because somebody texted Felger and Maz's producer that the dog Nike has a Instagram called the Swoosh Dog, and somebody found it and sent him the picture, and they were at the Bahamas or whatever 2 days ago or something like that. And then people were commenting on it
do we even know that he's not already back from the Bahamas?
I like to just assume that he's not there.
Yeah, I bet he could be at the fucking Senior Bowl for all we know.
But regardless, people started commenting why isn't he there? Why isn't Bill at? Felger sent me, and she made.
So it's obviously her running the.
Yeah,
dog
and
page.
they made the account private again. So
really?
Yep.
Imagine it's Bill running that page, posting little woof woof, having fun in the Bahamas.
The Swoosh Dog. Should get that up on your. Andy, Swoosh Dog.
Actually,
no, it's private. It's private.
I'm still gonna look it up.
You can't even get on there now. But yeah, that's pretty much why I wanted to bring that up because I thought that was funny. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw that Adam Schefter is saying that there could be like
Schefter.
What'd I say? Schefter.
Schefter. You always say that.
Adam Schefter?
Yeah.
I've heard you say
Really?
Yeah. I've heard you say Schefter a few times, and I've held my
Adam
tongue.
Schefter?
Schefter.
You sure it's not Schefter?
Yeah, absolutely.
Positive.
How do you spell it?
100%. Schefter.
There's no N.
Nope.
Wow. Jesus. My life's always been a lie then.
We got a response. LMAO every now and then, kind of rare, because watching baby on the days off.
Ridiculous, Norman. It's trash, bro. But so yeah, he said Adam Schefter said that there's going to be movement with like 17 different teams, like a bunch of quarterback change.
Okay, yeah.
So I was thinking that we go over each starting quarterback, and you tell me whether you think that team should move on from them, and we're going to do it ourselves. How many teams that we think should be moving on from their quarterback?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Sure.
All right. We'll start in the AFC East. Patriots, Cam Newton.
Move on.
Bills, Josh Allen.
No.
Dolphins with Tua.
No.
I say no.
Move on.
All right. Jets with Sam Darnold.
Honestly, I'm going to say no. Yeah.
I'm moving on. You guys are saying stay with them?
Yes.
Okay, so I won't put that one down.
I don't think Sam Darnold's as bad as
I think it's the organization more than him.
So AFC West, Mahomes, obviously not. What about Derek Carr?
I'm
keeping him there.
Yeah, I'm not moving.
I'm keeping Derek Carr.
They've improved each year that Gruden's been there, but I mean they have struggles.
Next year's big for both of them.
Yeah.
Drew Lock, yes.
Move on.
Who's the other team in the? Herbert.
Chargers.
Obviously not.
Keep Herbert. Yeah.
Texans, Houston, they're obviously going to move on from Watson,
Yep.
so I guess you could put them on the list.
Colts.
I mean,
they're
Philip Rivers,
they're
so that's
moving
another
on.
one.
Moving on.
Titans with Tannehill, they'll stay with them.
Yeah.
And
then
Jaguars are going to get one. That's
Yep.
5. Steelers with Big Ben, you think that they're...
I think they should. Is that what you're asking, or is it?
I think that, yeah, they should.
Yeah, I think move on.
All right.
Really?
I
as
do.
far as like
find a new quarterback and make him retire.
If there's all these guys out there in the market...
push him into retirement. Yeah.
So Cincinnati, obviously, no with Burrow.
Yep.
Baltimore, no with Jackson. Who's the other
Browns.
team? Browns.
No.
I'm sticking with Mayfield. So that's 6 there in the AFC. NFC, Hurts. Or let's just say... Actually, no, they probably
Hurts,
won't be
Wentz. I'm going to stay.
they're sticking with.
Yeah, they're going to stick with one of them.
One of them, yeah.
They'll probably stick with both.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're not getting a new quarterback to start next
I
year.
think they'll stick with both, and if they want to go to Hurts again at some point this season, then they might make that decision.
I think Wentz is gone, and it's Hurts' job.
I do too. Giants, Daniel Jones.
Probably
Probably stay. I think they should stay one more year with
Yeah, I agree.
the Skins are going to be in on somebody.
Yeah.
Smith. So I would say yes.
Yeah.
They should move on. And who's the other team I'm forgetting? Dallas.
Dallas, stay with Dak.
Yeah.
Unless
Even though he's not
we
under
think they're going to move on from him.
He's not under contract. So
I bet he'll be back in silver and blue.
All right. Let's go. NFC West.
Niners, Cardinals.
Cardinals, no. Niners.
Probable. I think they're going to do something.
I do too.
Actually, before you keep going, I read that. Actually, no. Well, never mind. That's not even the team I was thinking.
Okay, so then who else? Rams. Goff. It seemed like he's going to be on the outs. Did you hear that? Open competition.
I did see that.
So I'm
sure.
I'm a yes.
We'll count them.
Then who else? Seahawks. No. Then we got what's the other?
Chicago. We'll do Chicago's division. Chicago. Yes, and that's the team I was saying is apparently very in on Watson. So it'll all work out to plan. Trubisky can be a Patriot.
Oh God, I thought you were going to say Garoppolo for some reason.
No,
that wouldn't
because
make
the
any
Bears.
sense. Yeah.
I messed you up. Packers.
Don't
no, even though they're
Rodgers
chirps.
could be on the move.
He's just pouting.
I think he wants more money. He's only making like $23 million a year.
Yeah.
Of course, he wants more money.
He said, "I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be back in Green Bay next year." So
Lions, yes, because Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cousins.
I'll give him one more year.
Yeah.
I lean towards that as well.
Yeah.
All right, what's the last division? Saints. Probably yes if Breeze is going to be gone.
Saints.
Retired. Yeah.
Panthers, I would say yes. I would move on from Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Bucks, no. And then
Matt
Falcons.
Ryan.
What do you do if you're Atlanta?
I
Do
don't.
you give him one more year with this new coach coming in?
Yeah, I also think he will get one more year with that talent at wide receiver. That'll really, if he can't produce with them and a new coach,
So that's at least 13 teams that we think should be. And they're
going
probably
to be in the market.
Yeah, there probably were a couple other ones that we could have made the case for too.
Yeah,
so
you got to think at least 3-4 of them will probably go with a rookie.
Yeah, so there probably going to be a
like
lot
7,
of
8
movement.
free agent. It's a lot.
Plenty of guys out there for the Patriots. And I know you guys are big on Stafford. If you're giving up a first-round pick for him, I don't want Matthew Stafford.
I would take him for a first.
I would take him for a first-round pick.
Stafford in a first, but or Garoppolo for a third?
I'd still would rather Stafford. I think he's much better.
If I had to pick in that, I would take Garoppolo
for the third. Yeah, that's why I just wanted to throw that out there. All right, let's move on to some.
Not me.
No, you want your guy Stafford here bad.
Yeah, I think, and we can find.
I
can find gems.
I like Stafford more, but if I could get, I don't know that I like him that much more. You
can find gems in the third round all the same.
Yeah, that's fair.
If any city that you would attend the Super Bowl, like what would be your perfect city?
Honestly, Tampa would be awesome. Other than that, Dallas, because it's nice weather and it's like the sickest, biggest stadium.
Yeah,
I said Vegas.
That'd be
and then
really cool.
Raiders or New Orleans.
That'd be a sick Super Bowl week.
Yeah, it's cool if anybody could make it to Sunday.
Yeah.
It's cool that it's in Florida and like the governor down there doesn't really think that COVID's a big deal.
Yeah, so they get to have 20,000 fans.
Yeah,
that's gonna be. I mean, the Green Bay fans are actually really loud. I like to see that. It's playoff time, some sense of normality.
I think it's one, they always have it in a warm weather city. Part of me thinks it would be cool if there was like a Super Bowl in the snow.
Well, they had the one year in New York and it rained. I think it was a year the Colts won or something.
Recently, yeah, maybe against the Panthers or Colts.
No, it wasn't the Colts.
It wasn't Broncos Panthers. I thought it was pretty recent.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's been a few throughout history, but yeah.
All right, let's move on to some NBA/Celtics talk. So, since last we've talked, the Celtics have gone 2-1. They beat the Cavs and the Bulls, and last night, a little bit of a rough game. I think that's probably more the game to talk about.
Yeah.
Against the Spurs, they should have won the game. They were the better team. You have that really comes down to that second quarter collapse.
Yeah.
And Andy, what you were saying is the rotations kind of going into the fourth quarter when you kind of had the Spurs hanging off the cliff and you helped them back up by having that lineup that they had.
They fight all the way back from a halftime deficit, 14 points. They end up going into the fourth quarter with a 2-point lead, blow it up to a 5-point lead.
Yeah.
Then you roll out the bums.
And
it switches from they go on an 11-0 run.
Yeah, and so the second that starts to happen, I don't understand why Brad is so hesitant to get them out of there. I understand, and there's probably fucking analytics and all this shit that tells him oh no, we got to keep Tatum and Brown on the bench until the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game. But if you put Brown or Tatum out there during that and you nip that run in the butt, and you're able to hold on to a 7 or 8 point lead, then you can sit those guys for another 3-4 minutes, put the other guy back out there, and if it gets close, I'm sure that they're not going to be so gassed by the end of the game that they're oh fuck, I can't run. I hate how Brad.
I think he has too much trust in these guys that they can weather the storm, weather the run, and fight out of it, and either not use a timeout or put one of these guys in there. And I think for how young, I don't know if him kind of being restricting Tatum's minutes has a little to do with him coming back from COVID.
Yeah.
But I think you got to put one of them in there. It's a game that you should have won.
They're young. Let them play a little.
Exactly. Why can't they be playing,
38 minutes.
Exactly.
If need be, you'll make up for it when you're blowing out a team.
Is it really going to kill them in the long run if they come in for 2 minutes to kill a run? It's really not.
That's what I'm saying. Most stars in this league play 38 to 40 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Maybe not 40,
35 to 38.
To 38.
And then at the end of the game, Kemba's got the ball, and Tatum is right in front of him, fighting to try and not get in the post, but kind of trying to
He hit a little guy on him.
And what it comes down to is, does Kemba not okay with not taking the last shot and not taking the back seat?
I don't think it was that. I think it was more he was didn't want to throw it away. When in the end he ended up getting picked anyway.
That's what I was going to say.
No, I had trust Tatum would have gotten it, but I can understand why he didn't throw that ball because he was jockeying hard and there was a guy on the block. Yeah. So it would have been risky, but you just can't get picked there. Kemba's so small. It's just very frustrating.
I don't want to say it, but it seems like every day that passes, Kemba seems more and more unfitting for this team.
They're 1-4 since he's come back.
Just less. He seems like he's not very. He seems like he's not as good every day.
Not that he's not as good, but there just seems to be some bit of I just don't see how he really flows with this offense. Every time he's out there, and maybe the numbers would speak differently, but just the eye test for me, it's because Brown and Tatum have taken such a huge step forward. Brown's playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
And Tatum's still doing his thing, And it's like Kemba fit in nicely when those guys were still on the up and like they were transitioning into the league and all that stuff. And like that's why I think he worked well last year. But like now that it's the Brown and Tatum show,
I don't know
that you need a guy like Kemba Walker.
Might maybe need a good point guard that's pass first rather than score first, which that's why people are now throwing around
someone who's like a defensive liability.
They're throwing around potentially Ball, who's on the market, and JJ Redick from New Orleans. So would you be willing to? So here's my thing. I don't know if I would do it because there's just something that is like blocking me from saying just trade Kemba for one of those, like for both those guys. Because like if he can hit his ceiling and come back healthy, I just think that. And they can get it to work with him, that the offense could be just take this another step forward. If he can, they can fit him in there where he was playing like he was last year.
But you really want to roll the dice on him staying healthy? Like, I mean, hasn't he just got like cortisone shots in his knee? Like, is his knee?
No, they said he's pain free. It's for the first time in a while, and I honestly am one of the few people who do believe he's going to stay healthy. And I also want to backtrack my statement saying that he seems not as good every day that passes. But my one thing with him, it comes down to size. He has like Isaiah Thomas syndrome. He's just so small. You saw him drive to the lane that one time we were watching. He gets blocked. The reason he got picked that time is because he's so damn small, and DeJounte Murray's a long guard. And
we saw it in the playoffs last year how bad he was on defense.
I love him if he is floating around the outside of the arc. Like catch and shooting, getting a couple dribbles, pulling up.
Yeah,
I just don't know how him playing off the dribble really works in this offense.
That's what I'm saying. It's not really his game, right?
Yeah,
but the ball.
I mean, it is partially his game. If it's his, if he's in Charlotte, that's what he's doing.
Sure, but yeah, like I mean,
it's not a recipe for winning, in my opinion.
Exactly. That's like kind of the point I'm trying to make is like Kemba thrives with the ball in his hands, and this offense should not be running through Kemba. He can't run through Kemba. I mean, it has to run through Tatum and Brown first. Like, those guys are obviously your first and second option. And then, I don't know. I mean, I was saying to Jesse last night, I don't really want Lonzo Ball, but the more we're talking about it and the more I'm thinking about it, I mean, if you got those guys in a package,
I think
you're going to have to give up probably a whole lot.
I think if you send Kemba over there in exchange for Redick and Ball, you wouldn't have to give too much up over Kemba. Like Kemba and a little bit more.
New Orleans is a team that's struggling too, right?
And so I'm thinking they could use like more of a guy like Kemba, like a scorer, as opposed to Ball and Redick. I think the Lonzo Ball slander is a little unwarranted, and he's got this bad rap because of how hyped up he was because of his dad. He actually he's becoming an elite wing defender. He's fast. He can pass the ball really well. He can play in transition. His shot's probably going to come.
It's developed over the last
pass first, right?
And he's pass first, and the biggest knock on Kemba is the size. Lonzo Ball's like a 6'5" point guard.
Yeah, the more you talk about it, the more I'm for it.
And, you know, JJ Redick would be awesome, too.
That's a guy who, in that Spurs game, if he's out there, he could hit a couple big shots.
Yeah, and kill a run.
And he can defend. That's adding two. That would leave you with defenders like perimeter defenders, Marcus Smart, Lonzo Ball, JJ Redick, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I don't like that.
Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's really his forte. But.
Well, speaking of point guards, I was telling Andy, I think I want Brad Wanamaker back.
Shut up with that.
I think Jeff Teague is fucking ass.
Yeah, he was fool's gold a little
bit. What
the
fuck does this guy do? He comes out in the court and he like dribbles and then he like kind of goes in, then he just kicks it out, then he dribbles.
He couldn't even get us 3 assists for our stupid parlay.
He's a shitty defensive. He's not good on defense either.
Team, dude.
I'm not ready to.
He's playing on a new team. He's still.
He lost his job in 5 games to a rookie, and I'm not.
So what? Peyton Pritchard was playing very good.
If he's so good that he should not be losing his job that fast.
Nobody ever said Jeff Teague is so good.
Nobody was saying it. People weren't all over his dick when he got here.
Yeah, because it was a good signing.
Clearly, it wasn't. He's a waste.
You can't say that.
I would rather have Wanamaker back, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
I don't think it has much. I don't think it has anything to do with Teague. Teague was out for a few games, and Pritchard stepped up in those games and earned his minutes.
That's really short-sighted. He's playing on a new team. He's still learning the ebbs and flows of this offense. You can't expect him to just go out and drop 15 points a game.
That's not what I'm expecting him to do. I'm expecting him to do more than come in the game and the offense have absolutely zero flow because he doesn't know. He's not doing anything good with the ball. He doesn't does not shoot the ball. He just kicks it out every single time. And I just think the offense is stale when he's in the game.
Give it a little
It's
time.
not like that when Pritchard's in there.
Okay, well, we just talked about how Kemba needs to take a little bit of a step back offensively. A guy like Jeff Teague works well for this offense in the sense that he's not looking for his shot. Brad Wanamaker drove to the hoop almost every chance he had the ball in his hands, and he would get swatted by a big down there.
I would take that over what
Throw it
Teague's
off the
doing.
glass. No, you wouldn't.
Yes,
you
I
would
would.
not.
I'll take Wanamaker.
You're trolling
Take
right
it.
now.
No,
I
I'm
know what
honestly.
you're doing. I can
I'm
see
like
it in your eyes.
no, I'm like kind of trolling with this a little bit, but I'm dead ass. I think Jeff Teague is a fucking bum, and I'm over him.
Little update: Dogecoin up to 6 cents. I made $10.
There you go, bud.
What did you do? Do some stocks?
Yeah, I bought $20 of this cryptocurrency Dogecoin because everyone's talking about it.
I see. I feel like a loser not getting in on this GameStop
It's kind of fun.
or AMC
It's kind of
shit.
fun just to look at because like everyone talks about it. It's up 400% today.
What do you want, Robinhood?
Yeah,
Scumbags. I
I
heard
know.
that whole thing today.
Yeah, they're probably gonna if this ever gets going.
The
they'll
thing is,
probably
I need
restrict
somebody that
thing.
really knows what they're talking
Yeah,
about
I don't
to
know much
explain it
enough
to me like
about
I'm 5.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you have a minute to explain it to me. I don't need any detail and tell me what's going on because I like
Right.
try to comprehend it and I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel so fucking stupid. I'm like, what did you just say? All right, that's pretty much all I had for the Celtics. I mean, obviously they play the Lakers on Saturday, and then,
Yep,
then Golden
good
State,
test.
and then the Kings. Try and go win. If you even lose to the Lakers, make sure you beat Golden State
Yeah.
in Sacramento and try and get.
Listen,
you don't.
we just had our full lineup for the first time this season. I think that we still have time for these guys to get going. And Tatum was out for a week, Brown was out for a little bit.
Yeah, and that's fine. I just think you drop down to the 5 seed and you lose 2 out of 3 here, and you're looking at your 11-9, 20 games in. I know some of that has to do with COVID, and there's still a lot of time. But that's what really sucks about last night's win is because it looked like they were going to string together 3 wins there. And even if you lose to the Lakers, then you go win the next 2.
Yeah.
And 10-7, this team easily could be. Tatum doesn't bank in that shot against the Bucks.
Yeah.
Like you're 9-8 right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, you could come up with
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. So that's pretty much all I have with the Celtics. But all right, rank all the NBA coaches and stop when you get to Brad Stevens. I'll go first.
Are we just gonna do this together, or are you gonna do yours?
I'll do mine, and so pretty much to say where I've got him at.
All right.
So I got. This is in no order. This is just guys I would take over him.
All right.
Steve Kerr, Doc Rivers, Rick Carlisle, Eric Spoelstra, Nick Nurse, and Budenholzer, whatever the fuck his name is. And I think I'm forgetting somebody too.
That's pretty good props.
Can you-
7th best in the league?
Yeah, but you've
Let me hear
literally
it again.
said he's top 5 before, though.
Okay.
Let me hear it
Okay,
again.
That's not too far off from what
So,
you just said.
I
hear
mean,
those again?
You just put him 7th out of 30 coaches. That's pretty good.
I gotta go back.
Did you mean to give him props on air?
I
like
was
that?
not giving him props.
Well, that is.
No, it's not.
Good job. You just
No, it's
officially
not.
ranked him the 7th best coach in the league. Behind a lot of Hall of Famers, too.
I thought I was being negative when I said that. Now that it's coming out as positive, it's
Yeah.
not good.
I'll agree with Popovich, Carlisle.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't even say Popovich.
that's what-
Yeah, you
I
did.
No, I didn't.
He did not.
Oh.
That's what
That's the guy I was forgetting.
Yeah.
So 8. That's like
That's
not
still
that good.
pretty damn good.
No, it's not.
In only 6 seasons, he's already the 8th best coach.
Okay,
Um,
but
did you
people in the
did you
league
put
say he's top
Spoelstra?
5.
Okay,
Fanboys say
he's
he's
probably
top
going to be
5.
5 or 6
Did you
for
put
me.
Spoelstra in front of him?
He did.
Yes.
I'm not putting Nick Nurse ahead of him. So I'll put
I would.
Popovich, Carlisle,
Nick Nurse has a ring.
Rivers. Yeah, thanks, Kawhi. Popovich, Carlisle, Rivers, Kerr, and 5A, 5B, Spoelstra, Stevens for me.
Spoelstra's a better coach.
Not even gonna acknowledge that.
Well, he is.
That's my list.
Okay.
Andy,
well,
do you have
oh,
yours?
so I can't make a
Nope.
comment on your list. I just
Nope.
have to sit here and shut up.
Yep.
Like you didn't outcoach Brad Stevens last year in the playoffs.
Thanks, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, no. He's 6.
I put
you're-
Pop, Nurse,
Not on my list.
Spoelstra, Kerr, Carlisle.
You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm looking over. There's a lot of coaches in the league.
I guess I got to go back to the drawing board and rank him even lower.
I don't really see anybody else that I would put in front of him there. So
The fanboys have him top 5. He's not a top 5 coach.
All right,
That's a
I'll put him
fact.
6. That's fine. I'll
All
put
right,
him
that's
behind
fine.
Spoelstra.
I'll
And
take it.
Top 6, top 5. What's the difference? None.
Big difference.
Behind 4 Hall of Famers, 3 Hall of Famers. No, 4.
He's just
He's
not-
behind all Hall of Famers behind Rivers, Popovich, Kerr, Carlisle, Spoelstra.
I wouldn't put Steve
So
Kerr
he's
in
the
my
best
Hall of Fame.
non-Hall of Fame head coach in the league.
I wouldn't put.
Steve Kerr is absolutely a Hall of Fame.
Well, so you think Eric Spoelstra is going to go to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
All right.
Because he's got those 3 rings. Steve Kerr is obviously going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's got 6
care.
rings as a player and 3 as a coach.
Oh, we're talking. Come on.
Doesn't matter. He's still
We're talking coach. I don't give a. Does he actually have 6 rings? 6? Does he?
Yeah, 5 because he's got some with the Spurs too.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
He might have 4. No, 4 or 5.
But he was there for the second 3-peat.
Yeah.
For the Bulls.
Yeah, and at least 1 with the Spurs, I think, too, though.
Oh, gotcha. What else we got here? That's pretty much it for me.
Did you put Budenholzer ahead of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little
That's
tough.
just
Why?
ridiculous.
Guy who wins more regular season games.
Oh, okay.
With
We're
Giannis.
talking about regular season games now?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, he probably doesn't even have as much playoff success. He choked with those Hawks teams when he won.
They both have gone to the Eastern Conference Finals.
The Hawks, did they ever make it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I think they did. I think they went one year when the Cavs beat them.
I thought that was the conference semis. I could be wrong.
And I think they got swept. That was when they had like Corver.
Probably, yeah. When they had like 5.
That was those teams.
5.
Everybody
All-stars.
knew were not doing anything when they got in the playoffs.
Their best player was Horford and fucking.
Didn't they win 60 games that same year too? That's crazy.
Their whole starting lineup was in the All-Star game.
Wait, what?
Millsap, Horford, Teague, Corver, and maybe it was only 4 of them. I forget it. It was just 4 of them.
Down year if Jeff Teague made the All-Star team.
Yeah.
So around the league quickly, I was looking at like the standings. The fucking Heat. Obviously, I know they've had COVID issues.
6-11 right now.
What the fuck had happened to Dallas?
Dallas,
like 8-11.
Kristaps, yeah.
They still should be much better than that. This is a guy I picked Luka as my MVP, so I don't know what's going on down there.
But...
And Toronto's like I expect Toronto to take a little bit of a step back, but they're like
Toronto has like 4 or 5 losses by within 3 points.
Damn. And
2 of them are 1-point losses.
It's hard to really, if you're not really following the league, to judge some of these teams because I'm like, do they have guys out with COVID?
Yeah.
Like, isn't Butler been missed like multiple?
I just read today that he's lost 12 pounds in a week battling COVID.
Damn.
And I think Tyler Hero's got like a neck injury too, so he's been out.
They're all listed as questionable for tonight, so they're close to returning.
Okay, so they're getting there.
Should be back.
All right, some miscellaneous topics.
I'm not done with the NBA. Were you on takeaways?
Yeah.
I've got 3 takeaways.
All right,
Russell Westbrook sucks.
I second that.
Yeah, they showed his numbers.
What was that stat? He has
163 points on 163 shots.
Horrible.
I mean, and part of the reason
from the field, 30% from
probably averaging like 5 turnovers. Part of the reason he sucks is because of his attitude, and he thinks he's it's a shame that guy's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Anyways, then
that is fucking gross.
I have Christian Wood as a monster. He's going to be an all-star. Could even be an all-star starter in the West. He's an absolute beast. And this is an actual big takeaway, is that the East is wide open for who's coming out of the East in the playoffs.
Wide open.
Wide open.
You still think anybody could get through the Nets?
Absolutely. The Nets.
Any of those teams?
With the Nets' current makeup, if they don't make any moves.
Realistically, who are we talking about here? Celtics,
Bucks,
Heat,
Celtics,
Bucks,
Sixers, and not the Heat. The Heat. They were on. I was listening to the Jump today. Everyone on the Jump agreed that the Heat aren't making the playoffs this year, and
They're not going to make the playoffs.
I'm on that bandwagon as well. They're not what they were last year, but I think it's wide open for the Celtics, Sixers, Bucks, and Nets.
Okay, so you're going to come around and say that you're actually a little concerned about the Sixers, what they've been doing?
No, I'm just saying that they're entered into that because of Doc and how Embiid's playing.
Pretty big win last night, though, against the Lakers.
Yeah, I know you didn't like to see that. They barely won, but
had some money on that.
And I guess my last takeaway is, I'll say it every week, is just that the Lakers are looking like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Did you see that right now the 6th seed in the East is the Cavs?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they're like 9-9.
They're playing hard.
Yeah, who would have thought that the Cavs and Knicks would be in the Knicks are the 8th seed right
now. Give Thibodeau his credit. He's
doing pretty well with those guys over there. They've been playing.
You can't coach sissies. You can't.
He was in
when he was in Minnesota, everyone was complaining. Or it might have been not Chicago. It was Minnesota. His last stop, they were complaining about how he's too tough on his players and that he's too much of a jerk.
Is that when like Butler was there and Cat and everything was like he was like fighting people at practice or something? It was like a disaster.
Everyone like took shots at him when he left. Like, dude knows how to get it done.
Something else I was going to say. I can't remember that. Yeah. Last episode we were previewing the UFC fight, Conor McGregor. Once again, I was real cocky that McGregor was going to get it done, and he gets knocked out. And I say my jaw hit the floor, I mean my jaw hit the floor. I was
so did Conor's.
Literally was not expecting that to happen.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Poirier is a fucking mean fighter, man.
He turned into a meme.
Yeah, he literally is a meme now. Oh, you can't get knocked out like that.
No.
It hurts your legacy so
your ego,
bad.
your legacy. He took it like a good guy. Though.
Yeah, but the thing is, before
I miss asshole Conor though.
He always loses gracefully though. He's always been like that.
But
even
before the fight, he's definitely not the same as what he was a year or two ago. But he was talking before the fight that he was like, "Oh, I want to keep fighting because I want to add to my highlights." You just became somebody else's highlight reel now.
The highlight of that guy's career.
Like he was dominating all the fight, and then one time he gets his back turned against the cage, and Poirier puts out the heat on. And does this dude not know when he's hurt to put his hands up?
Put your hands up, step back a little bit.
He did it in both Diaz fights too.
Feet get stuck in mud, and he just put his hands up.
Maybe check a fucking leg kick too. You're letting this guy pepper your leg, which definitely had a lot to do with it. That's why he went down so easy. Obviously, he ate that left hook too. But I can guarantee so many people probably lost money, including myself, on that fight.
Yeah, I mean, shit, the dude was a minus like 6 something.
Who do you think he should fight next? There's so many.
McGregor?
Yeah, there's still so many fights that.
Let me think here.
I go with the Diaz trilogy. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate the Diaz trilogy. Isn't Masvidal? Masvidal's a middleweight though, right?
Well, 170.
170.
So still too much.
I mean, it wouldn't be smart. He's fought at welterweight.
If Poirier can hit him that hard, Masvidal will really fucking crack him.
Yeah. Jeez, I don't even know where he goes from here. Honestly, I actually would be all on board for Holloway McGregor.
That'd be a good fight. I want to see Holloway fight for the featherweight belt again. But yeah, I would like to see that rematch too. They fought a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I heard something about that Holloway-Qatar fight. Holloway landed more strikes in that fight than any other fight in UFC history.
I think he broke his own record too.
Yeah, he has the second and third, I think, most strikes.
That's just the name of his fighting style. The dude just like throws crazy combos and has the best stamina in the business.
We might have mentioned that last episode. I know you're upstairs, but they should have thrown the fucking towel in on that dude. Like that's where like years could have got taken off of his life.
I know.
His face was a punching bag. Yeah. Dana White said after the fight he was afraid he was going to die, and that he wanted to rush him to the hospital. Jesus. That's just Dana trying to act like he actually cares about the fighters as they make their $15K and get their fucking face kicked in.
How much sparring does that guy do to be able to stand and take all those hits, dude?
Honestly, his fucking nose is probably shattered in like 25 different places. But staying on the subject of not martial arts, but combat sports, Jake Paul has his next fight announced, I think, for April versus Ben Askren. So if you don't know who Ben Askren is, he came to the UFC a few years ago. He maybe won a fight or two. He was looked at as one of the top welterweights, like top 10 in the world. He is not a striker. He is a wrestler. He's like a borderline Olympic wrestler. And absolutely not the most normal matchup that you think Jake Paul would fight somebody. That being said, I'm always going to take the MMA fighter over some loser YouTuber.
Yeah.
I'll take Ben Askren.
I don't even know who I'm going to pick, to be honest.
It doesn't really matter. It's months away, but like I think that's...
I don't know. It would be really... Imagine how much shit this dude will talk if he can beat up Ben Askren. And how bad will Ben Askren's career look if he loses to Jake Paul?
Loser YouTuber.
For those of you who don't know, Askren was like, what was he, the Bellator big guy for a while, or was it a different promotion? Before he came to the UFC?
It was Bellator and like ONE FC.
He was like considered the best of the rest, like for his weight class, not in the UFC. And but the dude was never a boxer. He's just a wrestler. He likes to hug people, so...
You weren't listening when you were looking down at your phone, were you?
I was.
Okay.
Why, did you just say all that?
Pretty much. So you weren't listening.
Sorry, I was checking my Dogecoin.
No, that's fine.
Are they they're gonna have to get into the same weight class though, right? Like
that Yeah, they have
They're definitely close in size.
Ben Askren fought at 170. What did Nate Robinson and Jake Paul fight at?
Jake Paul's 6'1", 189. And Askren's 5'10", 170.
Well, that's because he fights at 170, though. He cuts to get down to 170. Okay. So Jake Paul cuts weight to probably get down to whatever he fights at, too.
Jake Paul still has 3 inches on him. Probably.
That's normal, though. They'll probably meet at 170 or maybe a catch weight of like 1 175 or
Ben
something.
Askren has like a dad bod too. Like he's not the most athletic guy.
No.
He's like stiff as a board.
He looks
when
like
he moves.
he looks like a hippie or something.
If anyone, he's the guy that got knocked out by Jorge Masvidal by a
knee.
flying knee in like 6 seconds a couple summers ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I hope Jake Paul gets touched and just fucking.
Me too. Goes away forever, and I don't have to hear about this idiot trying to become a boxer. So, last miscellaneous topic I had is this fucking bullshit Hall of Fame like controversy over the last week from voters leaving their ballots completely blank.
Nobody gets in.
Nobody gets in. Like, what kind of Hall of Fame has that?
Yeah.
And so you need 75% of the votes to get in.
Yeah.
I don't know how far off Clemens and Bonds are, but they're coming on their last years on the ballot. Curt Schilling's on his last year. He had 71%.
He said he's like, I don't want to be on the ballot.
So you
anymore.
can get in by like the Veterans Committee after you. And did you see they said they're keeping him on it?
They are.
They hate him.
Yeah.
So here's my thing: if you don't think he's a Hall of Famer because of like strictly baseball, that's fine. I disagree with you. But if you're gonna, I can't stand these baseball writers trying to play God.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're not voting for him because of where he stands politically. And yes, he's way over the top on Twitter and way too radical, and he probably would do himself some good if he shut up. But like, who are these people? Like,
you're supposed to be judged on your playing career.
Yeah,
exactly.
They use the character clause. There's a fucking pedophile in the baseball, accused pedophile in the Baseball Hall of Fame that they haven't taken out because he passed away in 2015.
Yeah.
So like, I just think it's such a joke. Like these fat fucks like John Tomasi, who I'm above that. I'm not gonna vote because he's a.
Are we gonna pretend? I mean, when was baseball invented?
The fucking 1800s.
Are we gonna pretend in all of its history that there hasn't been guys who beat their wives or abuse their children at home or do a bunch of crazy shit? I mean, guys used to like drink beers and smoke in the club or in the dugout and shit. Like,
there is guys in the Hall of Fame. They were talking about on WI who are accused of domestic violence and have even been charged with stuff like that.
Yeah. And so now because they're not relevant and they're not their personal lives aren't totally blown up, and obviously it's not like the media is like taking pictures of Curt Schilling at his house and shit like that. Schilling does no favors to himself, but
it doesn't matter. Like they're not voting him in because he likes Trump, and it's as simple as that. And I don't agree with Curt Schilling politically. I think he's over the top, but like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, something needs to be done about like all these baseball.
Yeah, they can be fucking stripped.
Getting a little boners for holding onto their votes.
Like, we're gonna keep this Trumpy out of the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
like, the guy's one of the greatest postseason pitchers of all time.
Yeah,
and he's gonna
one of the most iconic moments of all time in postseason history.
The bloody sock. Do you think that was real, or do you think there was some acting going into that?
No, I don't think they put some food coloring.
Yeah, that's what they said. He had ketchup drops down there. But no, there's something else I was going to say about that. But yeah, pretty much it's just politics. What are we doing? If that's now what we're going to, if that's what we're going to start judging people on, and I to get into the Hall of Fame, you're going to start judging somebody on their fucking politics.
Yeah.
And I get that it's a very
exactly.
it's a crazy time right now, and it's almost stretching into more than politics because he's being a little over the top on Twitter. But that has nothing to do with his fucking baseball career.
Yeah.
And I can't stand these. Same thing like Bonds and Clemens should be in. At the end of the day, I understand they cheated, but everybody in that era did. We had that long debate about it before.
Mm-hmm.
They should both be in. They are still, at the end of the day, iconic to the game of baseball. You cannot keep out Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds from the fucking Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, especially Clemens because like even early in his career he was so good.
The dude has like 5 or 6 Cy Youngs.
Yeah.
And you're gonna tell me all that had all to do with steroids when the guys at the plate were also juicing.
Right, so like that's the thing with baseball. Like you could almost make a case for like a football player or something like that like steroids are going to significantly increase their like performance on the field.
Yeah.
As a pitcher or as a baseball player, you know how still how incredibly hard it is to hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball over McCovey Cove, like how often Barry Bonds did, how hard it is to paint the corner with your fastball and all the pitches that Clemens had in his arsenal. Like, there's still so much skill that, like, I just hate that steroids clouds over all of that, and it's like, oh, well, no, like you said, like, oh, it's all steroids. Like, if he was a regular guy and just took steroids, he would have had the same career. Like, no, he's still Roger Clemens. He's still Barry Bonds.
There's still iconic names in baseball.
Everybody was juicing back then, and guess who isn't, like, and there's only one home run king. There's only one Roger Clemens, like,
yeah.
Everybody was juicing, and they still couldn't be as good as they were.
And baseball really just cannot help themselves. It just continue to look worse and worse.
Yeah.
Do they ever get any good PR? It's just a fucking joke.
Every turn is the wrong turn, man.
Speaking on Bonds real quick, he was nasty before he took steroids. He was like 40 stolen bases, 40 dingers.
Yeah,
player.
100 pounds less.
He was half at the size. Both his body.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a more obvious.
Both
maybe I don't remember what McGuire looked like before steroids, but Bonds was clear as day.
Dude, Bonds.
The thing is with Mark McGuire,
I think he was doing like temple injections with steroids.
With Mark McGuire, if you were like, show me a picture of a steroid, it would be Mark McGuire.
Can you pull up a picture of Mark McGuire
with that huge fucking neck?
Just look up Mark McGuire roids.
That dude looked like he was holding a toothpick when he'd have his bat and he just fucking gone. That 30 for 30, we talked about it many episodes ago. I don't remember what it was called. But
look at the one with the milk. He doesn't even look bad. He looks pretty monstrous, actually.
That's a lot of roids right there. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I have on that. So we can just do a quick betting segment. Obviously, no picks against the spread, but I take the lead going into the Super Bowl.
For the first time in probably like 4 or 5 weeks.
Probably longer than that. So I told Andy, you texted me during the week and said, you're not going to make me... Well, I'm going to pick first next week, and then you can choose whether you want to go for the win. I don't know who I'm picking yet. I know the spread is 3.5 points.
I'm absolutely going for the win.
All right, so you're going to pick opposite of who I'd pick.
Yeah, so I'm going to be playing mental warfare with you all week, trying to let you know who you think I want you to pick and whatnot.
I think I could just pick whoever I want. I have a game lead. It doesn't.
No, I know, but maybe I want you to pick a team, and I'm going to sway you that way.
Oh, so you're going to try and like tell me like, oh, you should bet money on them, but really,
yeah, or I'll be like, I really hope you don't pick this team, so I can pick them.
We got to come up with a tiebreaker. Score, total points, or like score something like that. We can't end in a fucking tie.
No.
Picked over 100 games. We're gonna end in a draw.
Yeah, we will
have something like that.
Maybe
we'll
for
next
pick
week.
Against the spread for the Pro Bowl.
Is there even gonna be a Pro Bowl? I thought they weren't doing it.
I don't think there is. But
play each other in Madden or
something. We'll think of something.
Probably will be total points.
Yeah,
something like that.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
But an NBA parlay I had for tomorrow night, I got Knicks money line versus the Cavs, the Nuggets -3.5 versus the Spurs. And Atlanta -5.5 versus the Wizards. 25 equals 150. And my lock is Nets -8.5 versus the Thunder.
OKC, yeah. My parlay is the under in the Kings Raptors of 229. The under of 229.5 of Nets OKC. I think OKC isn't going to get up there in points. The over of Bucks Pelicans 228.5. Nuggets money line over the Spurs. 25 pays out 257. My lock is Nets OKC under.
Cool. I had pretty much the same as yours. The only difference was I have the Nets to cover 8.5. But
you mean the OKC to cover 8.5?
No, the Nets to cover -8.5.
Isn't that?
I do have that.
Yeah. Okay. Then do we have the same?
So that's just my lock. The Nets one is my lock.
Yeah. So I have the Nets -8.5. Nuggets -3.5 over the Spurs, Hawks -5.5 over the Wizards, and I think
I had Knicks money line in my parlay, then the Nets one.
I like yours though, Jeff. Throwing that fourth one in to get you a little extra dough.
Yeah. So for the Super Bowl last year, I did a DraftKings Super Bowl Captain Showdown pool. I want to get that together again. So if anybody's interested in that, you can hit me up. It'll probably be like a $25 entry. I think we got like 20 people last year. Top 2 win. I think Lucas ended up winning. He took home maybe was like 150, 200, something like that. I was in the money, and then Jesse passed me for second because Mahomes took a fucking 2 knees at the end of the game, and I missed out by probably like half a point, which I was like the worst. I just fantasy love losing by fucking decimal points.
I have a couple future bets.
All right, let's hear them. I actually have one too.
Atlanta Hawks to win their division is right now it's at +250. And the only other real threat in that division is the Heat, who are 6-11 right now. So I like that bet. And then if you have bread to throw around and you want like a lock, Lakers to win the division right now is only minus 170. So if you got an extra grand lying around and want to make like $800, throw it on the Lakers.
GameStop money.
Lakers are definitely winning that division.
I actually have a future bet too, and it's based around the same thing. The Sixers are plus 240 right now to win the Atlantic. And they're up over the Nets right now. A team that seems like they got it figured out right now with Doc. Obviously, the Nets could end up. The Nets are like minus 1 something to win the Atlantic. But I mean, we see all the time that the best team doesn't always get the 1 seed.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, well, it's a 3-team race in that division.
Who's the other team? Not the Celtics, right?
Yeah,
no, they're not winning the Atlantic.
Yeah, they could.
No,
they could.
They won't.
Definitely could.
Okay,
they won't though.
But they could.
They might.
Just say that they could.
They might.
No, they
just say that they could.
I'm not saying that because they can't.
They'll probably finish higher.
Oh, sure, anything's possible.
They'll probably finish higher than the Nets.
No, they. Oh God. Do we want to retrace back to last episode when we talked about your tweet?
Yeah, how I said that the Nets are a little scary for the Celtics.
That was you pretty much saying, I'm picking the Nets, guys. I just don't want to say it because it doesn't fit my agenda.
It was not.
That's what it was.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so you're still rocking with the Nets?
I'm rocking
with
the
Celtics over the Nets?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see.
Absolutely.
Quickly. Oh, he's standing up. We're not at an hour yet. All right, relax. We're at 55 minutes.
I'm grabbing a basketball.
This guy can't sit fucking still. It hasn't even been an hour yet. You have to at least sit there and give me an hour.
Hey, I'm coming back, right?
Yeah, it's in your contract.
But
I don't get paid enough for this.
Off the best moments thing that you're doing on Twitter, we're doing on Twitter, the Ortiz versus Tiger one from yesterday.
Yep.
Ortiz ended up coming back and winning, and I'm still upset that somehow Kawhi's fucking buzzer beater beat McGregor, knocking out Aldo. It's a fucking tainted bracket now. That's so disappointing.
I mean, both were really good moments.
Freaking NBA dorks got all over that fucking.
That Kawhi buzzer beater was sick, and it was to win the series.
Yeah.
And the way it bounced around is crazy. But yeah, that McGregor.
Fucking 12 seconds, he knocked this guy out after all the trash talk.
Yeah, and this dude was like a 10-year champion.
He didn't literally hadn't lost in 10 years.
Arguably was on the path to being the best fighter of all time.
Probably at the time they were calling him close to the top 5.
At least for his weight class, definitely was the best of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got a lot of good matchups to go still. I think the one right now is it's not one of our best, but it's good. Next one coming up is going to be cool. We'll see. OBJ's.
What is it, though?
What, the one right now?
The one they were just saying.
It's the Mario Götze, the volley versus the Saints winning the Super Bowl after Katrina. But
Holly Holm also should have beat Aguero.
No. That Aguero moment is like soccer legend.
Okay, but she knocked out Ronda Rousey, who was like an untouchable.
Nah, in my opinion,
it's fine. The MMA ones aren't going to get the love.
That moment doesn't
put them on there.
That moment is good, but the next one's going to be cool because OBJ killed. What was OBJ up against? Do you remember?
See if I can pull it up quick.
OBJ smacked whoever it was. I thought it was going to be a really good one, and that was a play-in to face the 1 seed, and the 1 seed it's cool. So I'm not going to spoil it, but
I should probably do it, Andy. It might take you a while. I know you don't really know how to work Twitter too well.
There's a whole thread of them all. We've been putting them in a thread, so everyone can check back.
If you just actually signed into our Twitter account on your Twitter app, you could do it real fast, but. It's been a year since we
destroyed D. Gordon's leadoff home run.
Oh yeah, someone texted me about that and was like, "That's an iconic moment
for D. Gordon."
Yeah, the D. Gordon one.
That was awesome.
I don't think it deserved to get smacked.
It was like his only home run of the season.
What was that for?
It was the leadoff home run after the first game back after Jose Fernandez died.
Oh yeah,
Jose Fernandez.
So, yeah, whatever.
He was a good guy.
Oh goodness.
Never mind. Not going.
Actually, I'll even say what OBJ is going to be up against because it's something Usain Bolt related. Because the bracket's already out. It's either him winning the 100-meter for the 3rd time in a row, first time in history, or something like that. So we'll see.
So are we completely through the first round or no?
So the way I was doing it is there's 4 quadrants of the bracket. We'll go through till there's 2 teams left in each quadrant. So you go through like 3 rounds of bracket until we're in the quarterfinals.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's pretty much all I had for those. Quickly off topic, I watched The Departed again. I'm watching on Netflix.
Top 5 movie.
Okay,
listen. How's its rewatchability though? I've never.
I like to rewatch
Every time it's on, I put it on.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the actress's name that's like sleeping with Matt Damon and
Vera?
Her Boston accent in that movie is horrible.
Is it?
She goes from not having a Boston accent at all, and then she says certain words like "bah," and she thinks she has to say it like that. It's so, if you pay attention, it's so bad. Like when she says "cod," and she has to like force the Boston accent in there when she's not talking in one.
I don't even remember her having a Boston accent. I thought
because she doesn't, normally. But every now and then at the end of a sentence she it's like. Don't you think, who was it, Scorsese or whatever that did that movie, would see that and be like, maybe we rewrite her character story and be like, she's not from Boston. Like, she went to UMass, but she's from Western Mass or something. Like, the Boston accent was fucking terrible.
Yeah, not everybody has to have the accent out there. Because not everybody does have an accent out there.
No, but you can't. 90% of her dialogue was not with a Boston accent, then 10% was, and it was awful whenever it was. So that's
all-time movie though.
It is really good.
Fucking so good.
Long, but it's really good.
Oh,
I used to not hate Matt Damon, so I liked the movie, but I was like, fuck this guy. Like, he does such a shitty job in the movie. But actually, like he's so hateable watching it. Where you're supposed to hate him. But have you ever seen Ford vs Ferrari with Matt Damon in it? That's a really good movie. Matt Damon, I liked him a lot in that movie. He kind of sold me over. Christian Bale, that one. I think it actually won. Academy Award, whatever it's called. Oscar, right? Yeah. Oscar, I think that's what I'm thinking of. And last thing I'm going to say is, this was Tuesday when it was snowing. First of all, like we talked about, those fucking roads on Tuesday were so bad. Oh, yeah. I had to go 20 miles an hour on my way home, but before that, I'm in Springfield on my way to my last stop, and these two guys are on the other side of the road, and it's like looking like a road rage incident. They both get out of their car. This dude has like one of those fucking poles where you hit the button and it switches down and it's like a metal rod.
Like a police baton, kind of.
Kind of, but like, even like, it definitely, I don't think it's exactly what a cop has. And he was like literally about to beat the shit out of this guy with it. And they were shoving each other. And I'm watching my rearview mirror like, yo, hit this guy with it. Like, I want to see this shit. Jesus. And like, fucking welcome to fucking Springfield. Yeah, it's fucking... Yeah, sketchy ass place. That's it for me though. You guys got anything else or? Nah. So yeah, I guess that'll be it for us. We will talk to you next week, and we'll dive more into the Super Bowl coming up next week. We'll give our official predictions. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be a good game. So yeah, we'll talk to you then. Thanks for listening.
Peace.